Hi, welcome to the Ruby Arrays stage. In this stage, we'll be talking about arrays. An array is a data structure that essentially works as a collection. In Ruby, the collection can contain objects, classes, and pretty much anything. You refer to items inside of the collection by using something called an index. The index is the pointer to where an object is inside of the array. In Ruby, as in any programming language, or too many programming languages, indexes are always going to be numbers, and they start at 0. Now let's go ahead and with creating and working with arrays. In order to create an array, you need to instantiate the array class. You do this like you will any other class in Ruby, by typing the class name, then a period, followed by the word new. In order to do this, we need to go inside of IRB console. So let's type IRB in the Linux console. Then let's go ahead and create an array. Type the array class, period, and then the word new. And as you can see, our array is now an empty collection or array. If we wanted to add something to this array, we could use the push method and send it in. We can send in anything we want. Let's go ahead and add number 1 to this array. Array.push, and we can set any value. In this case, I'm going to send number 1. And here we are. In this case, we have an array with one member, the number 1. You can see that the array is represented using a left bracket and then the item inside the array, followed by a right bracket. You can use that same syntax in order to create an array. That means the exact same thing in Ruby. Let's create a right bracket with the syntax we already talked. And we have an array. This is much more cleaner than instead of write or type array class. We can still add things to it. We saw that we have the push method. There's also the double less than sign that will add anything else you send into the array. So if I want to add the number 1 to this new array bracket, and then we can use double less than sign and add the number 1, and it's just the same with the push method. If I wanted to add number 2, we can do the same, number 3, and we also can add any string. And then you can see we have 1, 2, 3 as numbers and also a string. We don't need to add only numbers or strings or single values. We can add also even another new string. Let's say I want to add another array in the last position of this array, and then you can see it added a new array inside of this array. If I wanted to take off part of this array, I could use the pop method. Pop would take the last member of the array and return it. So let's type array bracket dot pop. As you can see, if we take a look again at the contents of this array, it now does not have the last member that it does. It was another array, and it take a look that this is returning the last member. If I say string equals to array bracket that pop, you can see that string now has the value, this value. And if we take a look to array bracket, now it just only have the 3 numbers. If we wanted to see how large is this array, we could use the length method, which it should show that we have 3 items. That length. Oops, I just typed it wrong. Length, and it says we have 3 items. If you can take a look to the array, we have 3. If we wanted to find out where in an array something is, we can use the index method. That will tell you at what part of the array an item occurs. Let's say we want to find the index of the item 3 in here. We could call array index, and then we have to enter the value of the item we want to find. In this case, let's enter 2, and it returns 1, because if you take a look to the contents of the array, 2 is at the index 1. It's at the index 1. Remember, it begins 0, 1, and 2. If we enter 3 is at 3 index, at 2, I mean. So now it returned 2. There is the index or the position in the array where that item occurs. Array indexes always start at 0 and work out from there. And that's the basics of creating and working with arrays. The next lesson will be working with arrays in a bit more depth. As this stage is pretty short, we're gonna make only one quiz for this stage. The quiz is gonna be at the end of the stage. By the way, don't forget to follow me on Bastian Belandia, follow Race Karate as Race Karate, follow us on Facebook, Race Karate. Always keep an eye on racekarate.com, where it's gonna be the transcript of this video. And thank you for subscribing to our channel. See you next video.